Well, hi there again, fabulous fourthies. Mr. Graff's here, and we're going to continue our story about Dexter the Dragon and his recorder adventures. This new story is called Dexter and the Monster Recorder, and I'm going to put the words up right here. Boop! All right, so you can follow along. The story's a little bit spooky, okay? So watch out. Here we go. Dexter and the Monster Recorder by Katie Ebel. Dexter the Dragon was a very happy dragon indeed. Finally, he had started to play the recorder in his 4th grade music class. Dexter had learned to treat his recorder gently, but breath control and finger pressure were still a little bit difficult. "Class," said Miss Harmony one day, "you know that you play G by covering the top 3 holes of the recorder with the first 3 fingers of your left hand, and the hole in the back with your thumb." Everyone nodded. They all knew that. "Dexter, can you play a G?" asked Miss Harmony. Dexter took out his recorder, put his fingers into position, and blew into the instrument. Everyone clapped their hands over their ears when they heard a loud, harsh squeak. Dexter's recorder clattered to the floor, too. The sound had even scared him. Miss Harmony sighed. "Not quite, Dexter. Cover the holes firmly with your fingers and try again." This time, Dexter put his fingers in place and pressed firmly down on the holes. Everyone in class heard the recorder go crack. "Oh, that's a little too firmly," said Miss Harmony, and she handed Dexter another new recorder. Dexter tried a 3rd time. He put his fingers over the top holes and gingerly blew into the mouthpiece. The good news was that the recorder didn't break. The bad news was that no sound came out. "Blow a little harder," suggested Miss Harmony. Dexter did, and you know what? He saw the smoke coming out of the end. At least there was no fire this time. "Maybe this is something you should practice at home," said Miss Harmony, as she turned her attention to Tulip's mangled recorder head joint. It was all scratched up. "Tulip, dear, recorder players never put their teeth on their instruments, especially tigers." "At least I don't look like the monster recorder," said Tulip quietly. At recess, Sage and Dexter and the rest of their classmates gathered around Tulip to ask her about the monster recorder. "There's no such thing as a monster recorder," said Sage. "Big Sister Petunia says there is," answered Tulip. "She says its sound alone can turn you into a kazoo." "A kazoo?" asked Dexter as he pictured himself as a big green tube. "Yep," continued Tulip, and then she settled down into her story. "They say it used to be a regular recorder that belonged to a boy named Billy. One day, Billy woke up to find that the recorder had grown arms and legs. When Billy tried to pick it up, the recorder scampered across his desk and jumped out the window. It ran across his yard, down the path, and into the woods." Tulip's classmates looked at each other with big, round eyes. "Sometimes at night," continued Tulip, "you can hear low squawking sounds coming from the woods. That's the recorder. It's grown so big that it's now a contrabass recorder, or should I say a monster bass recorder." Well, Dexter and Sage didn't really know what a contrabass recorder was, but it didn't sound good. When the bell rang, they all hurried to the safety of the classroom. After school, Dexter took his recorder out into the woods and up to a cave where he and his friends used to play. This was a great spot, and most important, no one could hear him practice. Dexter put his fingers into position, and he tried a B. He heard a loud squeak, and he quickly stopped playing. But then Dexter heard a second squeak, even though he hadn't played a note. "Oh, I'm just imagining things," thought Dexter, and he tried the note again. Said his recorder. This time, Dexter distinctly heard an answering sound. Accompanied by a rustle. "Maybe it's just a mouse," thought Dexter nervously. Then he tried again, blowing harder this time. Squawk, said his recorder, and Dexter heard a loud squawk come from the back of the cave. Oh! When Dexter turned around, he saw two red eyes peering at him from the depths. They were coming closer and closer, and a low, rumbling voice said, "When will you learn to use soft, warm air?" Dexter's mouth went dry as he found himself face to face with a tall, hairy beast. Dexter could only stare at the monster's glowing eyes and its big, gaping mouth. Then he saw a row of holes down its front. It was the monster recorder. "Soft, warm hair," he stammered. "Yes, you soft, warm air," the monster growled, and it added, bringing its face right up close to Dexter's, "Don't squeeze your instrument too hard." Dexter didn't stop running until he was all the way home. That night at dinner, Dexter told the story to his family. Dorothy and Dan looked impressed. "Wow, a real monster!" exclaimed Dan. "I didn't know my little brother was so brave," added Dorothy. "My," said Mama Dragon then. "That monster sure knows a lot about playing the recorder. Maybe he has some helpful tips you could use." Dexter looked at his mother in astonishment. "He's a big, scary monster," he said. "Well," answered Mama Dragon, "wouldn't you be grumpy if everyone called you a monster and ran away instead of listening to what you had to say?" Dexter didn't know what to say at that. All evening, Mama Dragon's words kept circling back to him. Could it be that the monster was simply lonely and wanted somebody to play with? The next day, Dexter marched up to the hill with his recorder in one hand and a basket of Mama Dragon's famous dragonberry muffins in the other. At the mouth of the cave, he called out, "Mr. Monster!" There was no answer, so Dexter took out his recorder, placed his fingers on the holes for an A. Of course, his recorder squeaked. "So," said the monster in a low, rumbly voice, "you've come back." "Yes," answered Dexter, trying to be brave. He held out his basket of muffins. "Could you help me to learn to play better?" The monster recorder regarded Dexter for a moment. "Do you know who I am?" he asked finally, as he took a muffin from the basket. "You're the recorder that ran away from Billy," Dexter answered meekly. "Ah, so you've heard the story," replied the monster recorder, as he sat down and started to eat the muffin. "Do you know why?" Dexter shook his head. "Well," began the monster as he reached for a second muffin, "Billy didn't care about music class or his instrument. He never listened to his teacher or his own playing. He never practiced, and sometimes he even tossed me up and down in the air." Dexter gasped. "We always sounded so bad in class," continued the monster recorder. "So one night, I decided to run away." Dexter had to admit that made sense. He also took a muffin and sat down next to the monster recorder. "At first, I could only roll from side to side. Then I learned to stand up. Finally, I could set out on my own. Since then, I've traveled far and wide, listening to many students play the recorder, but no one seems to care what I think." The monster recorder picked up a third muffin. "So," he continued, "I can help you play, but you have to listen to me, and you have to listen to yourself." Dexter nodded. "I can do that," he said. So he stood up and put his fingers down for a G. Dexter heard a squeak. "Arr!" snarled the monster. "Do you hear that squeak? You need to cover the holes completely with the pads of your fingers." Dexter repositioned his fingers and tried again. At first, no sound came out of his recorder, so Dexter blew harder. Too hard. "Squawk," said the recorder. Dexter wanted to run away when he saw the pained look on the monster's face, but he knew that wouldn't be a good idea. "Did you hear that squawk?" asked the monster recorder. "You're blowing too hard, and your recorder doesn't like it. Be gentle. Don't blow into your recorder. Simply exhale, breathe into it." Dexter closed his eyes and thought, "Cover the holes completely, use soft warm air, and just exhale." He played a clear B. Sounded like the whole cave was filled with that beautiful sound. And then Dexter heard a soft humming beside him. Ooh. When he looked over, he noticed that the monster was smiling. Then Dexter tried an A. It worked! The monster's humming became stronger. Ooh. Then he played a G. The monster sang along. Ooh. Soon Dexter could move from one note to another, and the monster's humming became more and more melodious. As the two friends played together, Dexter noticed something strange happening. The monster's recorder's wild hair smoothed down and became the grain of beautifully polished wood, and his hunchback straightened out until Dexter was standing next to a glorious contrabass recorder. "You see what effect music can have?" asked the recorder when they had stopped. Dexter simply smiled in wonder. After tasting Mama Dragon's dragonberry muffins, the monster recorder was more than happy to join the dragon family for dinner. Afterwards, Mama sat down at her piano. Papa stood by her side. Dorothy took out her guitar. Dan picked up his violin. And Dexter stood next to the monster recorder. Then the dragon family band played long into the night with their new friend. Dexter was a happy dragon indeed. Isn't that a great story, boys and girls? All right. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you what the song for this story looks like. It's called Dexter and the Cave Monster. All right, let's check it out. Hi there, boys and girls. Here's the sheet music to Dexter and the Cave Monster. And I've included this in my email and on Flipgrid, so you can print this out if you'd like to, so you can play along with us. And in Dexter and the Cave Monster, it's a very long song. I don't know if you noticed, but there's 34 measures. That's a lot of measures. And the middle section we're actually going to play twice, so it's very complicated. But don't worry, we're going to walk you through it right now. Let's start by looking at what our time signature is. I'm going to move the mouse. Right there is our time signature, and it's 4/4 time, which means we're going to have 4 beats in every measure. Each measure, when you count it, it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now, at the beginning, we're silent for 3 measures. See that 3 with the big black box underneath it? We're going to be silent for 3 measures. And then we have another note. It's a B. It says optional. And that just means that if you'd like to, you may hold out a B for a whole note right there, which brings us to measure number 5. And at measure number 5, we're silent for 4 more measures. So let's try to count that together, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, beginning, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, stop. Here's the optional B. B. Now we're at measure number 5. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, stop. Got it? So now we're at measure number 9. Let me move my mouse. Right there's measure number 9. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see the notes a little bit better. Hold on. Let's try right about there. So here's measure number 9. And in measure number 9, right here, we have A's, and we have B's, and we have G's. See that? A's, B's, and G's. And see this funny little symbol right there? That is called a repeat sign. The other repeat sign, boys and girls, is way down here at the bottom of the screen. At measure 24, that's where the other repeat sign is. What that tells us is that everything between measure number 9 and measure number 24, we're going to play it twice. Let me zoom out a teeny little bit. See that we're cutting off the number 9. There we go. That's better. Now we can see 9 And we can see 24 down there. So let's quickly talk about the difference between A's and B's and G's again. In case you've forgotten, A's are inside the space. Got it? Okay, there's an A. There's an A. There's an A. Okay. B's are on a line, but they point down. See that? G's are also on a line, but the stem points up. See that? And those are rests, and during the rest we stay silent. Okay? So let's try to sing this together. We're going to sing measure number 9 and the whole rest of that line. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, ready, go. A, B, rest. A, G, rest. A, B, A, G, A, rest, rest, rest. Good job. If you look at measure 13, that line is exactly the same. Let's try it again. 1, 2, measure 13, go. A, B, rest. A, G, rest. A, B, A, G, A, rest, rest, rest. Now we're at measure number 17. Measure 17 gets a little bit different. We have 3 A's and a G, look. Then we do it again. See that? Let's sing that. 1, 2, ready, set, A's. A, G, A, G. Now here's a long A. A, G, A, rest, rest, rest. Measure 21. It's about the same. Let's try it again. Ready, set, go. A, G, A, G, A. Now hold on. Here's something new. Those are eighth notes, and we learned about those at the very beginning of the school year. Eighth notes, boys and girls. Sorry, I've got a meeting coming up. See that? Eighth notes, boys and girls. You count them 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So when we count this one right here, it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3. Say that with me. Ready, set, go. 1 and 2 and 3. And they're all B's. So when you sing it, it sounds like this. B, 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 rest. Got it? And here we have the repeat sign. And we go back up to the top. Right there. So we're going to do that twice. Got it? I'm going to slide down the screen a little bit. After you do 9 through 24 twice, then you can move on to measure 25. Gets a little bit easier here. It's A's and B's or A's and G's. Remember, the A's are in the spaces. The B's point down, the G's point up. Let's sing it together. Measure 25. 1, 2, ready, go. A, B, rest. A, G, rest. A, B, rest. A, G, rest. Now we're at measure 29. Let's try it slowly. This is tricky. Ready? A, B, A, G, A, B, G, A. Now some long B's. B, 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 A. And then we're quiet at the end because there's a fun roar. All right? Here, let me zoom out. And let's walk through the whole song again, okay? We start by counting silently. Then at measure number 9, we start to play. We keep playing. We keep playing. We keep playing till we get to our 8th notes. We hit the repeat and we go back again. We play it again and again and again and again. Now we're here at 24 again. Now we move on to measure 25, measure 29, to the end. All right? I know it's a lot, and this is a bit of a challenge, but this is good for you, boys and girls. And you can go back and you can keep trying to play this more if you're having a hard time, okay? So let's add in some music, and we can give this a try. All right, boys and girls, let's try this with the music. Good luck. The first time, I'm going to say the note names for you. The second time, you're on your own, okay? So good luck. Here comes Dexter and the Cave Monster. Get ready to count. 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3. Get your A ready. 1, 2, measure 9, ready, go. A, B, rest. A, G, rest. A, B, A, G, A, rest, rest, rest. A, B, rest. A, G, rest. A, B, A, G, A. 3 A's and a G. A, G, A, G, A, G, A. 3 A's and a G. A, G, A, G, A. Here we go. Beep, 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 beep. Back up top. A, B, rest. A, G, rest. A, B, A, G, A. Rest, rest, rest. A, B, rest. A, G, rest. A, B, A, G, A. Rest. Here's your 3 A's. A, G, A, G, A, G, A. Rest, rest, rest. A, G, A, G, A. Beep, 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 beep. Move on. A, B, rest. A, G, rest. A, B, rest. A, G. Here's the hard part. A, B, A, G, A, B, G, A, B, B, A. Whoa. Isn't that amazing, boys and girls? Hopefully it's not too scary for you. All right, nice job following along. This time, I'm not going to say the letter names, okay? So I want you to be thinking about them. Remember that if it's a space note, it's an A. If the stem goes down, it's a B. And if the stem's going up on that line, it's a G. Got it? Here we go. You are on your own. Good luck. We start counting now. Measure 9, here we go. 3 A's. Three A's again. We're gonna move forward. Right here. Wow! That was awesome. Nice job, boys and girls. Fantastic. Again, boys and girls, just like what we did last time, after you're done playing it, let Mrs. Avalos and I know, number one, if you like the story, and number two, if you found the song to be easy or found the song to be hard, okay? And just answer us that. And if you want to play us a little bit of it, that would be wonderful too. We know that not everyone has the recorders, but if you do have yours and if you want to play for us, please do. We would love to hear that, okay? Hey, as always, boys and girls, keep up the good work, and you know what Mr. Graff says. Whoosh, booyah.